Top 10 animals that save their owners' lives. Why, hello there, YouTube. Tell me, do you have a pet? A dog, a cat, a hamster, a Komodo dragon? Okay, maybe not that last part. I mean, unless you're really rich. That part would be pretty cool. The point is, everybody loves pets and animals. However, some are dangerous. But we won't be talking about those dangerous animals today. That's a time for another list. Instead, today we are taking a look at animals that have actually helped their owners and even saved their lives in a time of danger. They knew that their owners were in danger and only they could save them. From one species to another, here are 10 animals that saved their owners' lives. Let's begin, shall we? Number 1. Brutus the dog. Brutus was just a 2-year-old golden retriever when he saved a 7-year-old boy's life. The dog noticed that a deadly poisonous coral snake was slithering near the young boy, and the dog started attacking the snake, and the parents noticed the boy was in trouble, so they removed him from harm's way. Brutus distracted the snake but was bitten in the process. When his leg was shaved, he had 3 bite marks. The dog is being treated with painkillers and anti-venom medication and is expected to recover, although he may have some kidney damage. Money was donated to a fundraising website and is helping to pay his expensive medical costs, and so far people have given almost $50,000, more than the family expected. This quote, "Please, we feel we have plenty to care for Brutus's needs," said a website entry. Any money raised above the medical bills will go to a dog rescue operation and other charities, according to the posts. He made a full recovery and the boy was saved. Now that is a good dog right there. He deserves like several treats. Number 2. Winnie the Wonder Cat. In 2007, one special tabby cat saved a family of 3 from carbon monoxide poison. The cat sensed the change in the air and awoke the family in order to save their lives. The mother says that Winnie had started meowing and scratching her to get her to wake up. When she did, she was barely able to call 911. Richard Silcox of the Indiana State Police says when we got the door, she was delusional, and 14-year-old Michael was lying in the hallway already passed out. Winnie's owner, Kathy Kiesling, says if it wasn't for Winnie screaming and hollering and carrying on, we wouldn't be here today. Deputy Landon Dean of the Henry County Sheriff's Department also said, "I'm sure it's a hero. Even if the cat had waited another 5 minutes, the outcome would have been horrible. I think it would probably have been a coroner case for sure." The family thinks the carbon monoxide came from a broken gas-powered sump pump in their basement. Kathy said that she's planning on getting Winnie a cave to show off her Wonder Cat. Number 3. Dory the Rabbit. Now, out of all the entries in this list, you probably didn't expect a cute little bunny to be a good savior. Well, in 2004, Simon Seagal had struggled his whole life with diabetes, but he never suspected that his pet rabbit, Dory, would save his life. Simon had seemed to doze off, but he was actually suffering from a diabetic reaction. Dory then sensed his condition and jumped on his chest in order to wake him. Dory's odd behavior caught the attention of Mr. Seagal's wife, Victoria. When her attempts to bring him around failed, she rang 999, which is the British emergency number, by the way, for paramedics for help. The paramedics showed up and Simon Seagal lived through the ordeal, and it was all thanks to Dory the Rabbit, who knew when her owner was in peril. Hope she got a bunch of carrots for this one. Number 4. Filippo the Dolphin. It was Italy 2014 and young David Sassi was relaxing on his father's boat when suddenly he fell off. He hit the water and began panicking as he could not swim. He was in the water for a couple of minutes when he began to die from the lack of oxygen. He could only look as suddenly a dolphin came to his rescue and he was lifted up from the water and back to the safety of his parents. Filippo pushed David close enough to the boat that the father was able to pull him back on board, and with a swish of his tail he was gone, like the silent hero he is. That family never again saw the dolphin that saved their son's life, and David's mother, Signora Sassi, said, "It is a hero. It seems impossible an animal could have done something like that to feel the instinct to save a human life." Number 5. Watusi calf saves women from snake. Janice Wolf was in the refuge that she owns in Arkansas when she realized that one of her 11-month-old calves was blocking her path. The calf was actually saving Janice Wolf from a copperhead snake. Now, even though the copperhead snake's venom is not always fatal to adults, this calf stood on the Janice's path, forbidding her to pass. At first, she didn't understand the reason for such a behavior, but after she tried to move the calf and failed, she realized that she would have stepped right onto the snake. Not only did the animal sense that the snake was there, but the calf moved in front of the snake to save her owner. The snake could have struck the calf because the calf was only paying attention to its owner. But the calf made the sacrifice to save their owner's life and she lived because of it. Number 6. Gorilla saves boy. This happened on August 16th, 1996, in the days before everybody had a cell phone that could capture video. Yet someone did record the moments after the child got away from his mother and fell into the ape pit at Brookfield Zoo. The child lay lifeless for a few moments until Binti Joie, then 8 years old, gently picked up the unconscious boy and cradled him in her arms, then handed him over to zookeepers. The boy was taken to Loyola University Medical Center and made a full recovery. As CBS 2's Mize Martinez reports, it is a story many will never forget. The gorilla exhibit at Brookfield Zoo is always crowded with children eager to get a glimpse of the massive primates. But on August 16, 1996, one boy was too eager and he climbed over a barrier and fell more than 20 feet into a gorilla enclosure. A zoo visitor captured an image of the 3-year-old's seemingly lifeless body lying on the exhibit floor, but it's what happened next that captured hearts. It's all because of the kindness of this full-grown gorilla that a random child that had fallen into her enclosure survived. Number 7. Mandy the Goat. Goats are not the animal that you would expect to save their owners, but 78-year-old Australian farmer Noel Osborne learned that he could trust his goat after he slipped into a pile of manure and broke his hip. He was unable to move and was trapped in the smelly situation for about 5 days. He was subjected to the harsh Australian weather of cold nights and hot days. The nights were so cold that he could have died from exposure, but his pet goat and dog curled up next to him and they used their combined body heat to keep their 78-year-old owner alive. Mandy the goat then let the farmer milk her, and he had enough movement in his hands to put the milk in a container. This milk also kept him alive and hydrated. He was then rescued by his neighbor who had come to pick up a baby goat, a kid. He noticed the 78-year-old farmer lying in the pile of manure immobile, and he called an ambulance, and Osborne thankfully made a full recovery. Number 8. Penny the Labrador. A Labrador named Penny became a hero one day after her owners noticed a wheelchair floating in the nearby Illy River in Wales. Brenda Owen, her owner, couldn't find the owner of the abandoned wheelchair. It wasn't long before they noticed the woman floating in the river nearby. She called out to the unconscious woman, who did not respond. She right away commanded Penny, "Fetch, fetch," and instinctively Penny knew to go after the woman. She jumped into the river and swam towards her. Brenda later described the current was quite fast and it was obvious that the woman was unconscious, and myself and the man went to help Penny, who had dragged the woman back to the riverbank. They began to resuscitate the woman, but she remained unconscious for around 5 minutes before she began to breathe. Brenda said it was a life or death situation. Once the woman was breathing again, they placed her in a recovery position and called for emergency help. Who knew that teaching a dog fetch could actually save lives? Number 9. Chi Chi the Chihuahua. Now, Chihuahuas are better known for being tiny and adorable, and in some cases a little yappy. But in October 2008, one 13-pound Chihuahua named Chi Chi yipped and yapped so loudly that he couldn't be ignored. His owners, Rick and Mary Lane, had taken Chi Chi with them to the beach on North Carolina's Outer Banks. The small and hyper dog was resting in his own beach chair, and restrained with a leash by the way, when he suddenly went berserk. He leapt out of his beach chair, still attached and dragging the beach chair, and he started sending out an alarm, Mary Lane said. He was making a sound we had never heard before. Rick said, "Hey, what's the matter with the dog?" Chi Chi had spotted something horrible happening about 100 yards down the beach. There was a storm surge and 2 elderly ladies, one had fallen on her back head first into the surf, Mary Lane had said. The other lady was trying to hold her head up, and she was in danger of being washed out. Thanks to Chi Chi's warning, the Lanes rescued the women from the riptide. He may have been annoying to his owners, but he was actually just saving the lives of 2 elderly women. Number 10. Tracker the 911 dog. Now, Tracker is surely one of the most famous dogs in history, and there is a very good reason for that. His tale of bravery is amazing and shows us how much other species can give us to save their owners, who they are fiercely loyal to. Tracker was originally trained in the Czech Republic before joining the Halifax Regional Police in Nova Scotia at the age of 14 months. In the 6 years before 9/11, he was instrumental in locating contraband, finding missing persons, and hunting down criminals. When Symington and Tracker saw the devastation in New York on that morning, they headed out to help out in any way they could. They arrived on the morning of 9/12 and went right to work. Tracker found Janelle Guzman, an assistant with the Port Authority of New York, who had been trapped in the rubble for 26 hours. On September 14th, Tracker collapsed from smoke inhalation and chemical exposure, burns, and exhaustion. The pair moved to California, where Symington had taken up a career in acting. He has appeared in soap operas and other television dramas. Later, Tracker suffered from degenerative myelopathy, a neurological disease that caused him to lose the use of his hind legs. Paw Spice outfitted Tracker with a cart so that he could power himself with his front legs. In 2008, as Tracker was getting to be an old dog, Symington discovered a contest being held by BioArts International that was looking for the world's most clone-worthy dog. He entered the contest with an essay about Tracker and won. His prize was free cloning of his amazing canine, so it is possible that we will see more dogs like Tracker. Even Tracker himself. Mach 2, that is. That was our list of 10 animals that saved their owners' lives. Did we miss any? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell to see when another list comes out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.